As one of the most recognizable cities in the world, there's a lot the Division 2 needs to get just right about Washington, D.C. For lead environmental artist Chad Chatterton, that means not just nailing the look of the iconic monuments, but focusing on the details that make D.C. unique.
When we build a city for the Division, the first thing we do is we try and recreate what's there. So there's a lot for us to work with to create spaces that really help the gameplay sing. We have a head start by using GIS data. We have all kinds of information, almost too much information. We know the type and age of every tree and location of all the park benches and everything. So we have to make choices. What's important to capture DC from all of this?
But the Division 2's version of the nation's capital also needed to be transformed. And that's where the work of researcher Chloe Hamoud came in.
You can spend 10 years doing research on a city. It's a never-ending process. I wanted to have a deeper understanding, like how would the city react in times of crisis? Where, for example, the evacuation road would be set up? What are the shelters in times of emergency?
Vehicles are always facing in the way of the evacuation route, for example. They're not just randomly placed. We've thought this through. You'll notice that most of the vehicles have been drained of their fuel. So we've really tried to think down through drill down into the details of why the props are there.
You have the Lincoln Memorial, the Washington Monument, and the Capitol all in a row on the National Mall. And these were interesting in terms of strategic location.
Things we learned from Chloe's research, whereby that wide open space is useful to the National Guard, to the Joint Task Forces, to use to create camps or a kind of a military hub.
All of this research and information helps ensure the experience feels as authentic as possible.
I brought creative solutions to the narrative team, also in their scenarios for the missions and side missions, for example. But also I bring logic to these missions or to the world in itself. For example, the wildlife. I highlighted the animals that you could encounter in the city. I mean, there are so many details that I worked on to help the team make sure that the world is consistent and coherent.
The work that Chloe does really gives us access and insight that we couldn't arrive at just by Googling the city or anything. You really have to come here, meet the people, and be in dialogue with them.
On March 15th, you'll get to experience a post-pandemic Washington, D.C. when the Division 2 launches on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. For more on the Division 2, subscribe to this channel and visit us at news.ubisoft.com.